Danielle Matthews here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I am on here again to have an incredible conversation about the redox signaling technology that I work with, and just some insight. I tell people all the time I get paid in goosebumps with what I watch this do, and I thought, you know what, I need to start bringing that to you all so that you can see, feel, and experience what it is that I do. And I will tell you this, having real people come on to share real experiences about the results they're having with the redox signaling is really what it's all about. And we've been having a great response. So today I'm really excited because, hey Callie, I am bringing on my friend Callie Shadowshot, and I'm gonna have her just jump on here now. And Callie is someone that I got to know through working with this technology. She was using it well before I was. And so, there she is. Hey, Callie, can you hear me?
Hi, Danielle. Great to see you.
Yay, so good to see you too. I'm happy we figured this out.
Yay, continent to continent.
So, Callie, take a minute and just share with everybody a little bit of your background, where you're from, what do, and I'm excited for.
Okay, well, I am originally from South Africa, and that's where I'm coming to you from now. I grew up here, and I've worn a few hats. I was in the hospitality industry, I was in the real estate industry, and I have also been in the cannabis industry. And I always joke because I've actually been in the cannabis industry for about 33 years, way before it was legal. My husband and I owned and operated a legal dispensary in Aspen, Colorado. And it was, my journey with cannabis actually started when I was a teenager because I had debilitating headaches. And my mom was a pharmacist, and she used to give me pharmaceuticals, but I really didn't like the way they made me feel. I don't really like taking pharmaceuticals. So I came across cannabis. I learned about cannabis actually from the Zulus and realized that maybe the governments were misinformed because it really worked. And obviously governments are agreeing with me because it has been legalized in several countries and quite a few of the states in the United States. But anyway, I lived in South Africa till I was 21, and then I went backpacking. And my journeys took me to the UK and then Holland, where I realized that, yes, the governments were misinformed. And then I ended up in Colorado and then California. And I was drawn back to Colorado, which was a really good thing because I learned about this technology in Colorado. And I met my amazing husband there as well, of course. And that was 22 years ago, almost to the day, actually. We've been together 22 years. So when we saw the writing on the wall in 2008, after Obama signed the Cole memo for cannabis, which said that the federal government could not go after states for their views on cannabis, we got involved and we got licensing, and we owned and operated one of the first dispensaries in Aspen, Colorado. And we did that for several years. And then in 2017, we actually moved back to South Africa. But in 2013, that was when I was introduced by some friends to our incredible technology, and talking about those headaches that I had. I had debilitating headaches for years, and I had all kinds of little ailments. I didn't look like I had health challenges, but I certainly didn't feel great. Do you still have me there, Danielle's my internet? Okay.
Got you. No, we've got you.
Okay, sorry, I am on a farm, so the Wi-Fi can be a little bit patchy, so I do apologize. But anyway, in 2013 was when I learned about our incredible technology, and I had remarkable results. And within, my biggest issue was sleep. I'd had a sleep issue for about 7 years, and I could go to sleep, but I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I would just lay there, and it was awful. And within 3 days, that issue just went away. I also had sustained a severe dog bite to my dominant hand, and that never healed properly. And I had all these amazing things happen, and I just feel incredible. The only thing is when we moved to South Africa, it's not an open market. So unfortunately, the product's not easy to acquire. But the flip side of that is that I've been able to share it with so many people in South Africa and help them acquire the product. So it's been quite a journey, and that's kind of my background and what led me up to where I am today.
Incredible. Yeah, I don't think that I realized that it was your, because that was the same. it was my head and not having solutions for all the issues that I was having with it that brought me in. So tell me this, I mean, having used cannabis and found additional profits there and what it was bringing you, why Redox? Like, what attracted you to it? And the follow up to that, or continuation of that, is like, what's the interplay there? How does one support the other?
Well, that's a great question, because it was basically when I started my entrepreneurial endeavors, they didn't even know what the endocannabinoid system was. And what that is as human beings, we've had such a close relationship with the cannabis plant for about 5,000 years. We actually have an endocannabinoid system. Every cell in our body has little receptors. Our body knows exactly what to do with cannabis, and that goes for every single person. And also animals. Animals have an endocannabinoid system as well, which is why cannabis works on animals as well. Animals can't tolerate high amounts of THC, which is why CBD, cannabidiol, which has been legalized. It's a bit of a farce to me, because the way I look at it is our creator created the entire plant. We need all the cannabinoids. There's about 113 that we know of already. And THC is the tetrahydrocannabidiol, the psychoactive property, which makes you feel high. And then there's cannabidiol, which has been legalized. But at the same time, the plant doesn't just grow CBD. And our creator never made just CBD. So he created it. It's called the entourage effect. So we actually need all the cannabinoids. And even though CBD has been touted as the wonder cannabinoid, it's actually THC, which is the wonder cannabinoid. And you don't actually have to feel the effects of the psychoactive to get the benefits of THC. We call it microdosing. So I help lots of people with that. In fact, I've had doctors who utilize the microdosing and then actually go to work and perform surgery. So it goes to show that you don't actually have to feel the high in order to get the benefits. And knowing what I knew about cannabis, and then having the Redox come across my desk in 2013, I actually had learned about it when the company launched. But of course, I just didn't believe it was true. And I'd also just had my third baby. So I was legitimately busy. But learning about the two, to me, it's so profound, because redox signaling has been around for thousands of years. But it wasn't until the scientists harnessed and actually made the molecules outside of living cells. And cannabis has been around for thousands of years. And they both actually work at the cellular level. So it's quite profound. And one of my favorite jobs in the world was running our dispensary in Colorado, because I saw hundreds of thousands of people from over 100 different countries. By law, I had to check everyone's ID when they came into my shop. So I got to know how old people were, where they were coming from. And I kind of kept a mental tally, and I had people from all over. And my favorite people were the skeptics, because they'd come think we were just drug dealers, And firstly, cannabis is a healing plant. It's not a drug. But I would shift their paradigm, and I'd say, you don't have to ingest it, but I can sell you a balm. Being in a ski town, most people had an injury or a sore knee or a sore elbow. So I would sell them a little bit of a topical. They would go back to the hotel and come back and see me the next day and be like, wow, it just works. I can't believe it. And I'd be like, well, we wouldn't be here paying rent if it didn't work, So, and then with the redox, inside every cell, we have the redox molecules. So now, for the first time in history, we have what works inside our cell with the intracellular communication and little receptors on the outside for cannabis. So it is quite profound, and it excites me more and more every year that we actually have these. And getting paid in goosebumps. That is, something that I just love, and I've got so many people that I've helped, and the two together are just dynamite. It's actually miraculous. I always feel sorry for people who don't have access to cannabis. In South Africa, we've decriminalized it, and we're on the precipice of full-blown legalization. So it's quite an exciting time to be here, and also looking at what's happening in the United States as well. Colorado was the first, and then I've lost track of how many states now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the federal government really needs to wake up and just legalize it across the board, because the way it's been done, to me, is just not fair at all. That was part of the reason why we left. Is because we were doing business in Colorado, yet it was federally illegal. So even though we had a legal business, we didn't have banking, because it's a federal, So it was still like we were doing something wrong, and that's not the case. They just need to get on board, and most countries do too. But that's just my opinion. So.
Lot that you've seen, so I think it's valid opinion and coming from a space that's good. Want to help others. So tell me, Kat, what is it that with the Redox, why is it that you decided, having, 3 kids, running, why is it that you decided to partner with India, put your time, your energy, your talent into bringing this to market? I mean, why is it that you feel the world deserves to know about Redox?
It's unique and it's different and it works and it's native to the body. It's made within us, and that's something I've always been a natural kind of girl, but this is beyond natural. It's the very definition of holistic. And I've just seen so many lives changed. And I saw real estate was my last kind of career, but really what good was your house if you don't have your health?
Amen.
And health is wealth, so I actually transitioned. A seer captured my heart, and I had the honor and pleasure of actually meeting Vertus Norton, and he asked me if I would help take it to South Africa, and because they're looking for global distribution, and they're a global leader in cellular health. And while it's been incredibly painful that I don't, I go through a few more hoops in order to acquire the product here, but it's still worth it. It's still worth it for what it does. And my mom was a pharmacist, and she was a good pharmacist, she was chief pharmacist of KwaZulu-Natal, the province that I grew up in. But what's happening with big pharma, and it's just something I don't agree with, so.
No, it is a lot. So, oh God, that's something, and I wanted to circle back to it. So, Vertus, I said Vertus Norton, and he spoke to you. Can you tell everybody who Vertus is? Why it's so profound that you got to have some time with him and be able to verbalize with him that I want to partner with you in that? What was his vision? What was his role in all?
He's an incredible human being, and he's obviously retired now. He's the founder of ASEA, and he basically turned down generational wealth from a pharmaceutical company for our technology because they were not going to bring it to the market. And he decided that people needed to learn about it and decided to go the route of network marketing, which I fumbled my way around because I was excellent at sales, but network marketing certainly is not sales. So I had to kind of unlearn those sales skills and understand our distribution model, but it's phenomenal. It's the way of the future. It's the way business is going to be done. Already we've proven that. I mean, I've lost track of the amount. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and I'm honored to be a part of it. So, and it's the growth, and legacy as well. This company is going to be around for a long time, way after I'm gone, and all the work that I'm doing, I can will it to my children. And I think he really nailed it with the distribution.
Yes, I know. So beautiful. And I think sometimes we're so limited in our thinking because we're used to things being a certain way. Well, if I want to go to the store, if I want to go to Amazon, and I just order, I order. But this distribution model, to me, there's such integrity in it, right? Because getting something from someone that literally has put their heart into this and said, look, this aligns with me. I believe in this. I want to share it with you. And we're sharing stuff all the time. I tell you about movies, the car that I drive, the toothpaste I use. Like, we're talking about this all the time, but the company never thanks me. And like, how beautiful that now the company is saying, thank you, Danielle, for sharing. And then, I get the gift of that financially, which is wonderful. But also, like, of course I'm in integrity. I'm not doing it for the money. I'd be sharing it anyway, because it's like, there's something so powerful here. So I think it's beautiful, and I'm grateful that it's brought, for me, what's amazing is it's brought so many people from around the world together, and like minds, like hearts, people on a similar mission that are wanting to just better humanity. And we get to do it through educating about this Redox technology. I think that Callie's internet went out over there in South Africa. So I'm grateful we had her while we did, and we got her for about 20 minutes or so. So thank you for tuning in. If you have questions, reach out. Callie